All right. You still hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Fuck, I'm fucking up. All right, so hey, we recorded, so I guess we could just start. How's everybody doing out there? This is the Comic Book Bullies. We decided to do another commentary because the last one was a big hit, and we decided to do another one and just talk shit over a movie, and hopefully you like it. The movie on tap tonight is Punisher Warzone.
Bam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some of you
I'm
hate
excited for this.
Yeah, here's the thing. Let's recap this because we know that some of you hate this movie. But here's the thing. For some reason, Eli and I were talking, and for some reason, we both loved this movie. It was one of, honestly, I think it's the best Punisher movie. Better than Dolph Lundgren. Better than, what's his face, the guy from Deep Blue Sea. This is the best one.
Yes, I agree.
And I think
I think it's one of the best comic book movies, too. I mean, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's up there. I mean, the movie was just a fun-ass movie. When you just take it for what it was, I think it's the closest we came to the Punisher live-action period in anything,
Yeah. I mean, the Netflix series, I'll give it to them for trying to show depth to Frank Castle's character. And I was on board for all that, but have him shoot somebody. I mean,
right. This isn't trying to humanize Frank Castle. No.
Yeah, this is just what it is. I mean, it's nothing more, nothing less. This is Frank being Frank, just killing motherfuckers.
Right. And the movie was just so insane. Eli, can you give us some? You know what? Let's go ahead and start the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Hold on. I have my finger on the trigger. Okay.
Okay. Are you hit and play?
Hold on. Are we gonna count down?
1, 2, 3, then hit.
Yeah. And on hit, we're gonna hit. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, hit. Here we go. All right. I'm loading up. How you looking?
I'm already going.
Shit, your PlayStation faster than my Chromecast. Okay, I'm in there. The thing is going. The Lionsgate thing.
Lionsgate, yeah.
Yeah. Let me turn this up a little bit. Is Lionsgate still a thing?
You know what? I don't know.
Lionsgate. These make some kick-ass movies. I don't even know. Oh, the logo. The Marvel logo.
Marvel Knights.
Okay.
This is pre-MCU, so they were trying to do Marvel Knights with Ghost Rider, which is another movie that I love and everybody else hates.
Now, here's the thing about Ghost Rider. I like the first one, even though I admit the first one was a bad movie. I still liked it. The second one, I couldn't even finish. I couldn't. It's pretty much one of the only comic movies I couldn't finish all the way through,
And see, now right away, we're getting into, there's no reboot, because this movie came out after the Thomas Jane Punisher.
Right.
This wasn't a reboot. This, or whatever, it's not really a sequel or anything. It just gets right into it. And notice the panel. They're using panels,
another movie they did that in too, right?
Yeah, the Hulk. Yeah, but this uses it with more effect. It's more effective in this one.
Right. Now, who directed this movie?
This is Lexi Alexander. She directed, I think the movie she directed before this was Green Street Hooligans, those brawling soccer fan movie with Elijah Wood. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, it's pretty cool. And then she directed a short film which won an Academy Award. So this is actually an Academy Award winning director made this movie.
Wow.
But before that, she was a stunt woman. She did a lot of stunts for movies, and she's like a ex-kickboxing champion. So she's pretty badass.
Yeah,
as far as so she knows action. And right now I guess she does TV. She was directing Arrow. And you can see when you watch the movie, I mean, you're seeing some of it now, the use of colors.
Right.
You can see that influence on the Arrow, the CW Arrow show.
Okay, I just looked at something. This movie came out in 2008?
Yep.
So it came out the same year as Iron Man?
And The Dark Knight.
What the fuck?
And it was supposed to get released like that summer. But for some reason, they bumped it to the Christmas season.
So it came. So it came after Iron Man.
It came after Iron Man, and for some reason I don't know if they thought what the marketing department was thinking, but they released it during Christmas.
I'm gonna Lexi Alexander. Just like I said, I'm gonna pull up some numbers. I'm gonna see exactly how to do the box office because I know it's pretty bad. Okay. Now, what building is that? I know you from NY. So.
That's the Empire State Building.
Okay, I figured. I knew it was one of them. I saw it in Spider-Man.
Probably the only shots of New York we're going to see because this was filmed in Montreal, I guess.
Yeah, it's like cheaper to film in Canada or something.
Yeah.
All right, now you said Kevin Feige has something to do with this movie?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Uh-oh. Billy the Butte.
Billy Russo.
So apparently this guy is like, he was like super famous around this time. He was on The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire. He was in 300.
He was in 300. Yeah, I've never seen an episode of The Wire.
Oh, really?
People tell me I'm a bad person because of that.
I've never finished it. It's good. Like what I've seen of it is good. I just never finished it.
Never even seen one frame of it. So all these actors that came from it, like Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba, I didn't know. Ooh, okay. Guess what's the worldwide box office of this was?
Oh, I don't even know.
10 million.
Damn. Yeah, I know it was a big flop. And that's the thing is they screened this movie right around Oscar season because like I said, it came out during Christmas. That's when studios are prepping the Oscar award ceremony season, and so they screened it for like critics. And you know how critics can be. They're film snobs, and they saw this and they just laughed and thought it was just a pile of shit and pretty much sank it before it even was released.
Yeah,
well, just gave it.
2008 was different than it was now. In 2008, Christmas was kind of like a dumping ground for movies.
Yeah,
unless it was like an Oscar contender. But now Christmas is like it's like the summertime.
Yeah,
you know, it's a winter blockbuster, summer blockbuster. So
and
I think
know,
The Force Awakens changed all of that.
And I don't know what they were thinking. I think some of it had to do with The Dark Knight because The Dark Knight got nominated for a bunch of awards, and it was seen as, comic book movies were all of a sudden seen as high art. And they thought that maybe for some reason they could try to get this in on that. When you watch this movie is not trying to be high art.
It really isn't.
It's a glorified exploitation movie, and that's what Lexi Alexander wanted to make. That was her intention, was to make just an outrageous B film grindhouse flick.
And I remember it was some people were turned off in this movie. They saying it was like too cartoony.
Yeah.
You know? So because the commercial did make it kind of seem like that. But in my opinion, there was so much off the wall shit in it. It was like you just got to see it, you know.
And I'll admit, I didn't see this in the theater because I
didn't either.
I was so turned off by that first Punisher movie. I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't gonna."
Same way with me. But here's the thing: I saw this on bootleg. I'm gonna just be completely honest with you. I didn't pay for it. Somebody gave because around that time, it was like super easy to get a bootleg movie, especially of this.
Yeah, and a couple of friends of mine had seen it in the theater. And they weren't comic book fans. We were like, "Yeah, I saw that Punisher movie. It's pretty cool." And I'm like, "Yeah." But I was a fan, so I just like dismissed what they said. It wasn't until I rented it when it came out on DVD. Blockbuster was still in business, and I rented it, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Now, okay, this scene right here. This is we're gonna get to it in a second, but you know what scene I'm talking about, okay? I just love this Metal Gear-esque scene coming up.
Yeah.
Because I've actually watched this movie, like the opening scene of it with like different people, and I had different reactions depending on what they said.
Yeah. It's all made to be outrageous.
Right.
I mean, even the gangsters are all like over the top, stereotypical, movie gangsters.
Right.
And that's what that skull is for.
Bam. And that's the thing. This guy. Like, when you see him, it's like, that's the fucking Punisher.
Right out of the comic. Like,
right
the first kill.
And he cut his head off.
That's the first
Killed a woman.
And it breaks her.
Kicks glass in the guy's stabs him. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, this is exactly what he is. If you read the
Like,
Garth
it was
Ennis
comic
run,
booky. That's the thing. It was
yeah,
comic booky.
he was Jason Voorhees. He was the Terminator.
Now,
I
this
mean,
scene right here. Now, this scene, either you're on board or you're not. This is where people check out. Because I've been some people like watch the scene like, oh, that shit was awesome. And I see some people like, nope, I'm done. Turn it off. So this is your entry level into this movie, you know?
I mean, right away, right off the bat, this is Frank being Frank.
Right.
You know, just dispatching villains in very creative ways, much like Jason Voorhees.
Right.
You know,
You just want to see about how can he kill the next guy, you know?
Yeah, just a fucking chair in the face. And he just headbutted that guy.
Right.
I love it when he broke his nose doing that.
Double tap.
Yeah.
Just want to see him just shoot people all day. That's all. You shouldn't, but you want to see it.
And that's what it is. That's what he does. Martin Soap. Okay, I'll get into Martin Soap's character later.
That's what I was going to ask you. So Martin Soap, and I know a little bit. Like I said, I'm not deep into his mythos like you are, but a lot of this is based on like Garth Ennis run.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love
like
that. I love that when he comes out
Frank.
with his nose is broken. He's just like sniffing the blood up.
Yeah.
Oh, and he takes that pencil. That's coming up where he takes the pencil and straightens it.
You know what? I never caught that scene. Maybe because I watched it on bootleg. You know, when he broke his nose, I'm like, when did he break his nose?
When he headbutted that guy, when he jumped across the room,
Yeah,
and like basically juggernauted that guy in the face.
Yeah, because I never realized when he did it. I just knew his nose broke, but I didn't know when he did it. So okay, cool. Like, how can you hate this movie, man?
And that's the thing with Lexi Alexander. When she came off Green Street Hooligans and she came off of the Oscar. She won an Oscar for this short film she did, and they offered this movie to her. They're like, we want to make this Punisher movie, and did that say the Russo brothers?
Did you? Honestly,
Rosini.
It was the gangsters. That's all.
Rosuti brothers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they offered her this movie, and she's like, I don't read comics. I have no idea who the Punisher is. You know, she tried to pass on it, but then they're like, she started. You know, her agent was like, look, you know, women don't get offered many, you know, chances like this.
Right.
You know, here it is. Here's the pencil part.
Yeah. See, I remember it, but I was like, when did he break his nose? Okay, so now when he, fuck.
Yeah. Like the fucking Terminator.
He just going. It just keeps
Straight
going. Like he's not humanized, you know.
He doesn't give a shit.
Right.
He's got guys to kill. And so Lexi Alexander's like, you know, being a woman film director, she didn't want to get, you know, painted into a corner as, you know, I'm going to be a female director directing these girly movies. She's like, no, I'll try an action film just to show that women can direct action movies.
Right.
So that was her motivation in coming into this.
And it didn't have to be a woman, you know, superhero to do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, she basically wanted to prove something. But the thing is, she knew nothing about the Punisher. Mm-hmm. So the first thing she did was go grab some Punisher comics, and she saw, like, it was all just Frank Castle blowing motherfuckers' heads off, chopping people up, dismemberment, just over-the-top violence that she laughed. She was laughing. She goes, okay, I get this. This is just outrageous, over-the-top violence. This is exploitation, 80s action.
But it's just funny how you said she didn't. But it's funny how you said she didn't know anything about the Punisher. But at the same time, this feels like the most comic accurate Punisher there is. I mean, it just feels like you're in the Punisher world or reading a Punisher comic live action.
Yeah. So
that's the weird thing about it, that you said she didn't know anything about it, when you got other guys like the other Punisher movie with John Travolta and Luke, you know, like God, what the fuck, you know, what the fuck were they reading? Yeah.
So she did a lot of research, and this was, you know, pre-Facebook, you know, social media. She ended up going on to like those chat rooms, you know, back in the day, those comic book chat rooms. And she was like, hey,
okay,
I'm directing the new Punisher, and I would like to know what you guys liked about the movie, the old movies, what you didn't like about the movies. What would you like to see from the new Punisher movie? And fans basically were like came and rallied behind her.
Wow.
So this
Well,
movie
so
actually,
why don't directors just do that? That's like the
yeah,
smartest shit.
yeah. So this movie actually has the most fan input.
And that's another thing I was going to ask you, because I remember the early MCU movies, they don't do this anymore, but they used to bring in a writer's room where they actually brought comic writers in as consultants.
Yeah,
That's why those like early phase 1 Marvel movies, were so comic accurate, because they had a guy, no, do this, Tony Stark didn't do that, Captain America didn't do that. So that's why I was asking you, did they do this since Kevin Feige was on board for this one? But I guess
yeah,
they didn't have to if they had fans saying, do this, do this, do this.
yeah. And there was some website, there was some Punisher forum or whatever that she was frequenting while she was making the movie, just constantly getting input from the fans and trying, because she wanted to make it for the fans.
Wow, okay. I mean, you could see the difference. I've always wanted Punisher. Has he ever like shot an undercover cop or anything like that? That's ever been in the comics?
Yeah, he has.
Okay. Did he give a shit?
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't like to kill, so I mean, there is that element of he does have a code. You know, it depends what comic.
Right.
If he's a villain
who's
like in
writing him?
Daredevil,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
If he's
Spider-Man,
yeah. If he's in a Spider-Man comic, he's shooting at jaywalkers. You're breaking the law.
Right.
You know?
Spider-Man, you can't kill Punisher.
Yeah. And here we go, the origin of
Jigsaw.
the cinematic origin.
Right.
In the comics, Punisher throws him through like a window.
He didn't throw him through like multiple windows, or just one
Yeah,
window.
he just face first through like a building window or whatever. Just fucked up his face. This is just around. I mean, even this is just totally outrageous.
Right.
I mean, this is like better than a Saw movie.
Right. He just tortured people. Okay. Have you ever played that Xbox, like the original Xbox Punisher game?
No.
Have you heard about it?
No, I remember the Nintendo one back in the day, which was awesome.
But the Xbox game was fucking insane, man. Okay. You would actually torture people for information in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would like find anything like a toilet or something or a saw, and you could like pressure, like put a saw to his neck and stuff, like tell me where the bad guys are, and then you could choose whether or not you just cut his head off or not.
That sounds awesome. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, awesome
Original
game.
Xbox?
Like the original Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, he found out.
He sees the wire.
He knows he's being listened to now.
And it's like, I actually like the plot. The plot was deep. I was like, damn, what happened if Punisher is faced with something like that?
More exterior shots, New York.
And they probably didn't even shoot that. They probably just found some footage.
Yeah. That's
like we could do that shit,
Yeah, stock footage. And let's look at the colors. The background is blue.
Right.
The reds, and then he's into the yellow. Lexi Alexander brought that. She's like, I want this movie to look like a comic book. She actually copied a lot of panels, panel for panel, like composed the shots right out of the comics. Because that's what she was going for. She wanted to be very faithful to the source material.
Look, we forgot to talk about the actor.
Ray Stevenson?
Ray Stevenson. He's in the MCU.
Yeah.
Or was. For those who don't know, he played Volstagg, the fat Viking, space Viking in Thor. He's one of the Warriors 3s. But of course, Hela just killed him off like nothing, like an afterthought. But that's that guy. Didn't you say you met him?
I never met Ray Stevenson, no.
Somebody said they met him. Did Eric say he met him?
Maybe.
Somebody said he met him. They said the guy's like fucking huge.
I bet. Yeah, he is. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
But see the color palette. There's like 3 primary colors in every shot. You know what I'm saying? Which is much like comic books.
Right, and it makes him stick out.
Yeah. I mean, some of these shots look just like those Bradstreet covers.
And that's the thing. He looks like a Bradstreet cover, like the guy together. That's why when I eventually saw him, I'm like, that's the. Even if you don't see the skull, you say that's the Punisher.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People misunderstand how much work and effort and technique went into making this movie.
Right.
They just dismiss it. Oh, it's a piece of shit. Fuck, it's cheesy action. Blah 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 blah. It sucks. You know, it's over the top violence. It's too a Punisher movie is going to be too violent.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Now, this is probably the only backstory we're going to get on Frank.
Right. Well, we're gonna get some other one, like when they're in the police department, and you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's the wife of the cop.
Yeah.
That's what's her face? She was doing Dexter.
I didn't see that either. I don't watch TV. I guess it makes me a bad person.
I watched a lot of Dexter. I fell off towards the last season. That's because I lost my cable.
Yeah.
So I never finished that either. I never finished any of these shows.
I mean, it's like fucking 12 seasons and shit, man. Like somebody said, you should get into Supernatural. Supernatural like 14 fucking seasons. I'm watching that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this black guy. That black guy was in a bunch of, like, he was in the Pierce Brosnan era James Bond movies. I think he was one of the double O's or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
He was on Arrow too, right?
Yeah, he was Ali's stepdad. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't even kill him off. He just left. They never heard from him again.
That first Resident Evil movie. I remember he got chopped up in that laser thing.
Okay, I don't remember that either. And he's English, putting on a fake American accent. That's convincing. All right, now give me some backstory on Garth Ennis' run. Because Garth Ennis had it where Punisher was like in his 50s or some shit and just been killing people forever.
Something like that. I don't remember the age ever. I mean, they don't really ever address his age. But I guess because he was a Vietnam vet.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think they tried to tie it in that he was in Vietnam and he just been killing since then. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, but Garth Ennis, he was off of Preacher, and you know, and he just basically revamped the Punisher. It wasn't really a retcon, but it was a whole new take.
I mean, but that's Marvel. They don't retcon. They don't New 52 anything, you know. Yeah. But they'll do a soft reboot and just pretend like, yeah, that's how it always was, you know.
Yeah, with him and Steve Dillon's art.
Yeah.
Because it was the team from Preacher.
Okay. Yeah. Now this scene. This is not how they died in the John Travolta movie.
No, the John Travolta movie.
Right.
It's like a Western. See, I've watched that. I've given that movie a few chances, and when I think of it, if it was called something else, if it wasn't called The Punisher, I would probably like it. You know,
I just felt like his plot, like The Punisher had a scheme and a trap, just way too complicated and way too convoluted. Like, just go shoot the guys, just be done with it.
Yeah, he's like sneaking around, like planting the fake fire hydrant and torturing the guy with the popsicle stick and pretending it's a burning whatever the fuck electroprod or
right.
Like it just wasn't the Punisher.
And then at the end of the day, he just shot the guy anyway. So like, just do that.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, the guy, you could tell there's a big Western element. It's almost like a modern day Western with like the gun, the gun battles and that dude with the Johnny Cash guitar case, and there's like some cool scenes in that movie. But it's not the Punisher. It's, you know, I just couldn't get over the fact that it's like they're not getting the character right, you know.
Okay, so the black dude name is Budiansky or Biansky, whatever. So is he a character in the comics?
No, not that I could think of. Martin Soap, the other guy, the bumbling idiot, he's the recognizable comic character. Like Martin Soap is a recurring cop character in the Garth Ennis run.
Gotcha.
And he's just he was kind of in the comics. he's kind of just like a bumbling idiot, like a loser. Nobody likes him on the force.
Oh, my favorite line in the movie. You Krispy Kreme motherfuckers.
Yeah, the Punisher Task Force. Martin Soap in the comics, he gets put in charge of the Punisher Task Force, almost like as a joke.
Yeah.
Because the cops know that he's not going to be able to do anything.
Right.
So they just kind of put him in an office in the basement. That's you're in charge of the Punisher Task Force, and him and like another a female cop are like the only two assigned to it.
Right.
Like
and
a
they
lesbian
don't care
cop.
what happens. Right.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, here he is. Here's Martin Soap. And they didn't expect him to. He was like a bumbling idiot. He was a miserable drunk. He tries to commit suicide so many times and fails every time.
Wow.
He's just a dumbass, And that's who they put in charge of the Punisher. But then the Punisher ends up using him to get information. So he ends up sort of teaming up with the Punisher in the comics.
Yeah.
There's actually an issue which is all about his life. Like later on, there was like the soap issue, which was about, Martin Soap sitting at a bar, drinking, getting drunk, and kind of reminiscing throughout his lifetime to the bartender, and he talks about being dropped as a baby and being in an orphanage, and no one ever wanted to adopt him, and eventually becoming a cop, and he ends up becoming a porn star, I hear.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it to Garth Ennis.
Yeah, this is really funny scene in one of the Punisher comics where Martin Soap feeds Frank some information. He goes into like a diner. Frank goes into a diner and like kills a bunch of mobsters, and one of them tries to escape, and Martin Soap like is there to try to stop him, and is like, freeze, police. And the fucking mobster ends up beating the shit out, like takes the gun and beats the shit out of Martin Soap. And is like sitting there kicking the shit out of him, and the Punisher had to come and save him, and he blows his head off. He just like takes the shotgun and just decapitates him with the shotgun.
Wow.
The blood gets all over Martin Soap, and Punisher's like, I told you to stay out of this shit, and leaves. And then Martin Soap is like, he just got his ass kicked. Now he's got brains all over his face, and he's like holding his jaw, and then he spits out a tooth. He's like, oh man, thinking that the mobster punched his tooth out, but then he's like, wait a second, this isn't my tooth.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it was one of the funnier scenes that I remember from the.
Now, one scene I did like in the John Travolta movie when Johnny Cash tried to kill Punisher. I did like that.
Yeah, that's a good scene. The Harry Heck.
Harry Heck, yeah, and he had the guitar coming in, sing a song for Punisher. Then he tries to kill him. I'm like, that's the thing. That movie was way too uneven. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's like there was good ideas, but it's not the Punisher.
Right. Okay, so microchip. We finally got a real microchip.
Yeah, pretty comic accurate too.
Yeah. Did they have the van in this movie? I don't remember the van.
Yeah, he was in a van.
Okay, because I remember in the comics, like the old 80s comics, he used to ride around in vans just killing people and shit.
Yeah. And Micro, the guy in the chair. One of the few lines you hear him say. That's the thing. This Punisher's got very little dialogue.
Now, honestly, Ray Stevens, I thought he was going to, like, blow up from this. I thought he was going to be a thing. I thought he was going to be Jeffrey Dean Morgan before Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, no shit. Because he was in, like, he was like, Thor, and then.
Yeah, but, like, bit parts.
Other guys. And he had, like, bit parts and, like, some comedies and shit.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, like, be a thing. But he just never took off, I guess.
He actually revisited this role on the Superhero Squad cartoon.
Did he voice him?
He voiced the Punisher when the Superhero Squad meet the Punisher.
That cartoon sucked. I know it was for kids, but it like sucked.
Yeah, he says he has this monologue about macaroni and cheese and how the world is like a plate of macaroni and cheese, but then the vegetables corrupted or some shit. And yeah, Ray Stevenson does the voice of the Punisher. Look at his lighting. You know, it's so stylized.
It reminds me of the Batman '89 scene, with the Joker mirror.
Oh yeah, this is totally
Yeah.
total homage.
Hmm.
And that's the thing is she meant this to be, Lexi Alexander meant this movie to be like satire.
Right.
Brachioles. I think he means brajoles,
Hmm.
which is a tube of meat that resembles a penis.
Okay, I
It's
didn't know
actually
that.
good. Yeah, brajol. It's like a meat wrapped in like cheese and herbs, and then it's wrapped in meat, and then they tie it. It looks like almost like a hot dog, and then you cook it. It's really good, but it looks like a dick. So sometimes Italians will use the brajol as a slang for your dick.
Oh, oh, okay. The new slang word.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, he pukes.
Oh, jigsaw puzzle. Okay.
Yeah.
He's already killed him.
And this is probably the closest thing to an arch villain that the Punisher has.
That's what I was wondering. Like, does the Punisher? And even I know he didn't have a rogues gallery because I know he kills everybody. But you
Yeah.
think he'd have like some crazy villains maybe pop up and just kill? Like for instance, like Dick Tracy back in the '30s or whatever. He had a whole rogues gallery, but he killed all those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And he's got Jigsaw is one of the few recurring uh, villains to pop up.
And
You
it's
know?
kind of where like Batman, they got Batman's idea of like having like a whole bunch of rogues gallery like Joker, Penguin, from Dick Tracy because he had so many of those guys. So you thinking Punisher would have a bunch of guys too? That he would just off and just move on to the next
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like all the villains, and Kingpin, Bullseye, Jigsaw, they all. I think Jigsaw started in, was it Daredevil or Spider-Man?
Yeah. Okay,
Most
so
of
he
them,
was an original Punisher villain.
yeah, most of the, yeah. I mean, like the Punisher who debuted in Spider-Man. A lot of these villains that the Punisher faced off were from either Spider-Man or Daredevil. Tombstone was another one. Hammerhead, uh, Jigsaw. I mean, there was a few like Bushwhacker. No, Bushwhacker was Daredevil too, wasn't it?
I remember a bushwhacker. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what
he's
his
got that arm that can change into shit.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a robot arm that could change into guns and shit. He was actually a pretty cool villain, I thought. But I think he started out in either Punisher or Daredevil or Spider-Man. Bullseye was another one.
Yeah, he'll fight Taskmaster and stuff.
Yeah, fucking Kingpin.
Yeah. Backtrack the Leaper.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you kill that guy. Now Punisher stalking them. Hensworth Asylum. Now this kind of threw me for a look. Like, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah, this just kind of comes out of nowhere. And I always thought that they were just kind of trying to do a Joker. Like
Yeah,
they wanted to have like a Joker character.
yeah, I was thinking that too because it really like threw me off for some reason.
You know, I mean, I have mixed feelings about the Looney Bin Jim. I mean, I don't mind him because this movie's so. If I'm gonna start bitching about this, I'm gonna start bitching about the, you know,
Mhm.
the plot and all that shit from a Punisher movie. you
Yeah,
know,
because the movie looked like it was trying to take like a certain tone, but with him, it just went okay. Let's just go left. Like fuck it.
yeah. Let's just keep that. Like they were so go too busy trying to go outrageous, and like this was like the cherry on top. Let's bring in because part of me feels like he takes away from Jigsaw. You know,
Exactly. He kind of overshadows Jigsaw in some scenes
yeah.
too.
But then he's got some great scenes too. you know, I mean, the scene with the mirrors is like I find I don't dare I say touching, but it really fleshes out the relationship between Jigsaw and the brother.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of Frankenstein for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Now this is Doug Hutchinson, um, who's yeah. I don't know if you know the backstory with Doug Hutchinson.
I don't.
So he's a character actor. I remember him from an X File. He was on the X Files, um, but he was also in the Green Mile as that one asshole guard.
Oh, okay. I remember him now.
Yeah.
I don't remember him, but I remember the asshole guard. But I don't. I couldn't make a connection.
So he's trying to do a cheap Godfather version of Hannibal Lecter.
And he's a cannibal.
He's just laughing. But the actor in real life ended up marrying some underage like model, and
Oh shit.
their
Okay.
parents let her or like was okay with it or something. And I guess he ended up on one of them VH1 shows, those the relationship shows or whatever, where they go to that house to work out their relationship. I remember Ghostface Killer was on it.
What?
And I remember
Okay.
it was those reality shows. This is like the 2010 when the reality shows were.
And that's the thing
You
you got
know,
to think about. Like, whenever you see a actor playing a fucked up character, maybe they're all really fucked up in real life. I guess I don't know.
yeah. So yeah, she was like she was underage. She was like 16 or 17 when they got married, but their parents were okay with it. And that couple, I mean, of course, she's an adult now. I don't know if they're still married, but they were married for a while. That couple ended up on that reality show.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a little there. There you go. In the Me Too age, I'm sure this won't
Yeah, that's
fly.
not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Right.
What are you doing here? What makes you think you could come here? Shut up! Shut your mouth! I said shut up! What's this? Oh. No, you
Drug
don't get to do
money.
that. You don't get to shoot my husband in cold blood. This is what you deserve. What you did to Nick. Who punishes you?
Who watches the Watchmen?
that's some hard shit, man. That's Frank being Frank.
Right.
If I'm gonna die, yeah, you can shoot me. I deserve it. I killed the wrong kind of guy. It was something I swore I would never do, and I made a mistake. I deserve to die because I would kill me. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Like, who punishes the Punisher?
Yeah.
I guess it's that if you become a killer, then there's two killers. What that bullshit Batman said or something?
Oh yeah. There's that one meme where it's that Batman quote, and then there's the Punisher. That's why I use a machine gun with a lot of bullets, so I kill a lot of them.
Right.
So,
Wait, so he took the money with him?
I guess.
Oh man, you should have just left it.
Oh, this scene with the mirrors.
Okay, I completely forgot this scene. Let's see what happened. Oh man, he's himself in the mirror. Now I remember the scene. Okay.
And that is also comic accurate because that's after Jigsaw. You know what happened to Jigsaw? Or he went after Frank to get revenge.
Okay.
You know, and he's always hated Frank Castle because of what he did to his face. Yeah, again, look at the lights. Look at the lighting.
Oh, there it goes. See, shit like that, man, it came out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
And it's like constantly. It's like there's no lulls in this movie.
Right. And that's the thing you can see different from this movie and the John Travolta movie. Like every scene looks interesting. That's the thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's like he does like if you took him out of the movie, it wouldn't like nothing. It wouldn't matter.
Right.
But still, like he's a part of the movie, and and it's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
he adds something to the movie. It's just I
Yeah.
don't know what, but it's
Yeah, just more outrageous like lunacy.
yeah. Yeah, you ain't saying that in 2018.
Without 1,000 blogs popping up all over the internet.
Exactly. Punisher is racist.
Yeah, the problematic tropes of racism with the Punisher movie.
The problem with Punisher.
Geeks of color. We love the movie, but
Right.
a black guy was driving a cab.
You know what? There was a scene in X-Men First Class that I thought was going to get more attention, but it didn't. When Professor X tries to, flirt with Maria McTaggart with saying some mutant shit, and she says, they may work on the colors, but they don't work on me.
Oh,
Like, nobody caught that. I was like, whatever.
oh yeah, the same, right? It's that one. There's homie. That line. That's like the only thing that doesn't seem like
Right.
him
Like he's
asking,
concerned. But
like he's asking about how his mom's doing. Like he gives a shit. It's like, yeah, that ain't Frank. Or maybe it's just him attempting to give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so has the Punisher ever quit before?
Not that I know of. He kind of just travels around. I mean, in Ennis's run, he went to like Ireland,
Okay.
went to Russia. He'll go like to South America to do shit. Weird islands in the Pacific to take on war generals and.
Okay, so he's not like Daredevil. He has an existential crisis.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I stopped reading in the '90s. Like I said, I stopped reading a lot of Marvel stuff.
I'm saying because Spider-Man quits like every 10 issues. Like fuck this shit.
Yeah.
You can just see dead guy written over that guy's head.
There's Soap drinking again.
Take a load off. Rats, just left. Wait. You know what I like to do? I like to sit in my car and listen to CB radio while I'm driving. I just run into them. It's never worked for me, but I'm not the luckiest guy in the land.
And we're coming up to probably my favorite part.
I think I know what part you're talking about. My favorite too. Pretty much the most famous part of this movie.
Yeah. I got the Blu-ray when it was one of the few Blu-rays were just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It has those My Scenes where you can save your favorite scenes and just jump right to it. I had that. I had that programmed in. It's like, my favorite scene. Just pull it up. It's like a GIF. Look at this.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, these are the parkour guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the part.
Yeah. So now, when Lexi Alexander was making this movie, this was her idea to bring parkour guys in there, and everybody was like, "No, do not put parkour guys. Parkour sucks. Everybody's doing it." There was that the James Bond movie with the parkour.
I think they said the guy in the James Bond movie like invented parkour or some shit.
Yeah, and like Indiana Jones had some shit. The
like
newer
last
Indiana...
decade, it was one of those fads.
Oh, here it is. Oh no, not yet.
not yet. Wait for it.
Yeah. Here.
Boom. Best part of the movie. That's the money shot right there.
Yeah. So Lexi Alexander was like, well, since nobody wants these guys, if everybody hates parkour, why don't we just blow them up?
Right. Because the funny thing is, when they started parkouring, I actually kind of like zoned out of the movie, like, okay. And then when that guy got to keep out of rocking, I was like, okay, I didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah. So it was just like it was like her contribution, like, okay, well, fuck parkour. I'm just going to kill these guys and
right.
kill off in the most outrageous way. Again, just trying to be over the top.
Mm-hmm. And giving the fans what they want.
And this guy's death is right out of the comic. Is like she said, was a panel right out of a comic.
Wow. Mr. Punisher, sir.
Oh yeah, here we go. And that's that's a panel right out of the comic.
What the fuck?
And I guess one of the critics, when they saw that, they wrote in a review that Lexi Alexander needs professional help for that shot. And she was always like, "That I didn't come up with any of that shit. That was right out of the comic. Like most of the stuff, all this violence was right out of the comics."
Right.
Anything needs help. Yeah, they screened this for critics, like, during Oscar season.
Yeah, and this is not a critic movie.
Yeah.
I thought shit you were gonna scream. all in the zone with the Punisher so far.
Stay out of my way.
Okay, now he's getting his ass kicked, but still.
It's like They Live, the fight with Roddy Piper.
Right, it just went on forever.
Oh shit! That sucks.
Oh, now he sees the badge.
Damn it.
His only weakness.
You have the right to shut the fuck up.
Another one of my favorite lines in the movie. And the money's not in there.
Yeah. This is brutal.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
No, everything is not okay. Follow me.
You know this is not going to end well.
Officer. This day was bound to come sooner or later, wasn't it? You did that.
Hadn't even placed the call.
Oh, I tried to come back. No answer. Listen, gotta get out of here before the pig's fly. Where's my fucking money?
My husband has a safe upstairs in the bedroom. I don't know if it's there, but I can give you the combination. It's 12,955.
Oh, cute. Looks like your dead husband's birthday.
And even Jigsaw's like hamming up in this movie too. So
Yeah.
Get into the station. Then you know, Frank, yeah, throwing you a tip now and again for one thing. Password to the crime database instead of letting you go. So
he didn't even think about it.
And that's pretty much how it is in the comics. He just, he's a pushover.
what are you doing?
Like Punisher ends up like helping Soap's career. Like,
Even
he
though
makes-
Soap's career is supposed to be to catch him.
Yeah, but he ends up, feeding Soap intel, and then Soap takes some of the credit for the shit the Punisher does. and he ends up like getting promoted and shit. He ends up like becoming like chief of police or some shit at one point.
Well, I mean, they gives Punisher somebody in his back pocket, so
Yeah,
What was that? Check it out.
this is great. I love this. The fucking
Fuck you wait.
the hot topic, you know, cake boy. Like this is totally Jason Voorhees now.
And then I know somebody would watch the movie like, "Does Punisher have superhuman strength or something?" Like, nah, he just shit he does, you know?
No, that kid was just that weak.
Right.
And this
Oh,
is
he loves
great.
the
I love this.
kids.
This was another one of my favorite scenes.
Put your hands behind
God damn it, Frank!
God damn it.
Like, how you not love this shit?
Yeah, no shit.
I repeat, request immediate backup. What's the word? Give me your fucking gun.
Like he fucking useless.
Stand back where you fucking are. We did it, Williams.
We did it.
I am now learning this is just in the back of your locked car. Castles are slippery.
Oh shit. They said the magic word.
Take him back to the turtle sewer, whatever the hell he was.
Listen to me. Shawty's been arrested. Smart. Go ahead. Locked my daughter.
The homages to the comic and the picnic in Central Park when his family got killed.
Right.
Doesn't in in the Netflix Punisher show didn't like the last episode take place at the merry-go-round or some shit?
Was it Punisher or was it Daredevil season
Or
two?
was it Daredevil? Maybe it
One
was
of, I
Daredevil.
think it was Daredevil,
Yeah.
yeah, because he shot those guys there. Yeah.
My office. I want a lawyer. I'll get you a fucking lawyer. No lawyer's gonna get you out of this one. Piece of shit.
Gonna get out some kind of way.
Agent Miller, what are you looking for? Zadi. Got some kind of thing in Europe. Case San Antonio's working on it. He's got some intel he wants to make a deal on. Whoever it is, agent, I'm going into the observation room.
Oh, because he broke the mirror.
I shit went with him. The reason you came to me is because you got caught. So don't insult my intelligence, okay? Tell me what you know. Is any good? I reckon a life without parole. This deal is going down tonight. I know when, and I know where. So, you're gonna do what you were brought here to do, and the money. All you're gonna have to explain to Wolf fucking Witzer why the hell they put the thing that killed half the fucking city. And you didn't do a goddamn thing about it.
Like that made no fucking sense. But then I forgot every movie like in the 2000s, had something plot to do with 9/11 or terrorism.
Yeah, yeah. And this was like uh right around like I mean we were like 2008. This was like the middle of Afghanistan and the Iraq War.
Right. Even Iron Man, dealing
Yeah,
with terrorism and, he was kidnapping the Afghans. So,
yeah.
like, nobody was having fun last decade.
Yeah. I mean, hence why the Dark Knight movies are the way they are.
Right. And James Bond became like the Dark Knight movies, super serious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their bio shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Happy?
And the police.
Fucking dead man. My father really,
Mm-hmm.
shove your head on fucking silver platter. Agent Miller. What's agreed? The only condition of our agreement? Clear the area. I hope the Gotti finds me what I deserve.
Oh, okay. I believe we got up at that part.
Long time. You should eat. Egg and cheese and Arby's is all I have. Meal, ready to eat.
Rations.
Regular blue can Coke. One person's gonna get the chocolates. So, that's what we got.
Rations aren't that bad. My buddy was in the army. He used to eat them all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my dad was in like the Marines and he had some shit like that. Instant like noodle shit.
Yeah, he just used to give me some. We just eat it. Like it's not bad.
This is Carlos. He's a friend of mine. He's gonna hang while I take care of some things. Hey, there we go. We're gonna be homies, right? Yeah, we're gonna be tight. So I'll be over soon. Go.
And your Punisher always getting a surrogate family.
Junior, don't make me regret this.
He's dead.
Oh yeah, the really bad fucking poppy jump metal of the mid 2000s that was like in every fucking movie,
Right.
every horror movie.
Mhm.
Next time he has to face us and a fucking army. Where we get the army from? Like Uncle Sam, huh? Recruiting troubled neighborhoods. Offer 100 grand towards a college education they'll never get. Promise nobody ever has to go to Iraq. Just as long as I get to kill Castle. But you know, it's making damn sure this time you don't come back bleeding.
Oh, they got microchip. What the fuck kind of gun is that? I got a howitzer.
Like, what is that for? What's like,
Right.
what are you trying to do with that?
Right. An elephant come rushing at you.
Damn, they did it with
Damn, his
mom. Huh?
mom. Wow. Was that even necessary?
Hello, sports fans. And how are you today, my friend? Run! Get out of here! Hey, I asked you a question.
I asked.
You don't answer. Guess I'll have to ask it again.
Mhm.
Here I come.
Damn, he doesn't have a car? Punisher mobile or something.
That motorcycle he had. And the
Right. I
golf
mean, he's not in
cart.
Hell's Kitchen. He got more than 4 blocks to go.
Brad Street Hotel.
Mhm.
Here's your Easter egg.
Right.
For those who don't know, Tim Bradstreet, he drew those iconic Punisher covers.
Which pretty much Ray Stevens looked like he just jumped right out of those covers.
Yep.
Poor bastard's been signing up. Where are they?
Damn, he's still alive.
Hmm. Brad Street Hotel. I smell a cop. They die.
Damn it. Don't die on me.
Her accent is.
Shut up. You're gonna be fine. It's real bad, man. Let me die like this, man. Not like this.
Cold blooded shit. I think I seen Wolverine do this one time too. Damn, not that. Don't use that.
Pulls out that.
Right.
I'll kick your ass out.
Pull a little Daredevil influence out of this.
Right, with the Catholics.
Whatever it is, pretty bad. Maybe I'm just here to see if I'm fair away. Right? It's true. So no. Thinking about you. Been a long way from the cemetery, my friend. I don't even remember this part of my life. Why'd you do this? Somebody has to punish the corrupt. The same way we judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you.
Knows his Bible.
Talk to you later, Frank.
And he's gonna tell them they made a deal with Jigsaw.
Maybe take you for a religious if I remember right, and I'll call them 10 suggestions. Besides, well, it doesn't matter. Maybe if you're going to protective custody, but you shouldn't. Having this conversation with deadbeat dad. Or lock him until he gets one. Tell him to be away. Unless you've got a videotape of his tape. Getting you a carpet picking. It's one of those systems where everything said it was right. He wants me in exchange for that. I need security trade. Okay. I'm gonna try to close the thing there, but I need my box. That's all. No laws. No official police procedure. You wanna come along? You give a badge and all.
Kill all these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Clock's ticking.
Hmm.
And like Daredevil, I mean, that's pretty much what he says to Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil is a lawyer, wants to do things by the law. Punisher's like, the system's corrupt. Even Daredevil is a vigilante who works outside the law.
Right.
Oh, now this.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna throw money at him.
For a few good men.
Really? The American flag.
We'd like to offer you the opportunity to be all that you can be. Now, we've all suffered loss at the hands of the Punisher. And because we don't look like everybody else, and because we don't act like everybody else, nobody does a goddamn thing about it. Well, I say, he ain't the only one who can take the law into his own hands. So if you're as sick of it
What the hell?
as I am,
The Irish.
raise your armies. You'll be well paid. You'll be well armed. And at the end of it, the Punisher will be dead.
Now that whole scene. Now Lexi Alexander, that was her statement she was making on the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. That's what America does. They go after the minorities, the poor, the disenfranchised to have them join the military and
Yeah.
send them off to war. And that was her little, satire. She was poking fun. That was social commentary right there.
Right. Which
In the
Jigsaw
Punisher movie.
just said word for word. That's what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the disenfranchised, offer them money, to do what I would need them to do.
The American flag and the music in the background. That was this movie. There you go, SJW.
In a Punisher movie.
This is making this movie had some social relevance at the time that people probably didn't catch.
Because nobody saw this movie.
Yeah. Like I said, this is right during the Afghanistan, Iraq war is going on.
Mm-hmm.
America
Now, why
was
Punisher
beat.
needs a silencer, I don't know.
You need to know everything. What's up? Your partner, Red Castle. He's helping.
Your partner.
Partner is a little bit of an exaggeration. How'd you know? Oh, unless you've arrested Houdini. The handcuff criminal does not escape that easily. You're just stupid, isn't you? You say that. Where's the father? I did.
Picking out the place. Damn, now he reminded me of Splinter Cell. It should have been that guy. Now this is classic Punisher when he takes on an army by himself.
Yeah.
And essentially that's what he's always ever been, a one-man army.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he came out. Well, I mean, he debuted in the '70s, but he got popular in the '80s because of movies like Rambo and Commando,
Right, Death Wish and shit like that.
Schwarzenegger films, and yeah, just the one guy with machine guns taking on all.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Here they are. Oh boy.
Take it easy, James. Yeah. You can fuck that. What you looking for? I am here to see that Jason. Yeah, not exactly. I'm here for preparation.
Well, come on in.
Who's the old man? Mister's father. We'll cut your genocide maniac. Figured he'd stir up a shitstorm for us. Cops will be all over this place once the fireworks start. Don't worry about that. The call the maniac expose his plan. Structure said to be blasted dynamite bomb. So, what's the plan? Plan the devil. You call that a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going in.
Oh, I don't have a gun. Look at that.
Only far down that way. I'm not going there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Frank. You know he's gonna take it out on me when he wakes up.
You don't get gunfire for longer than 5 minutes. So it's not here. Set 'em loose.
Oh, that evens the odds. Of course, he would have had an easy time just sniping these guys.
Here we go. This is what we came to see.
Exactly. Just mow down a whole bunch of people in a raggedy building. Boom.
You gotta get into this shit.
You
Oh
gotta get
yeah, this
creative
shit's
with it.
funny.
The guy's just like, fuck. Double kill, triple kill, overkill. He shut the guy's leg off. Reload.
Oh, damn, in the head. Headshot.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Which guns? Tear gas. There's no fun in tear gas. Handgun. Two guns.
Chow Yun Fatman.
You should just reload, and it seems like it's an easier, more tactical way to do that. Final boss stage. Door in, but you don't kick the door.
This is great.
That's how you kill people. Oh, now they hear shit?
Just had to share
Right. Was that even necessary? It's just like just in case.
This motherfucker's wearing a fur coat.
I need him on my Call of Duty team. Oh, come on, man. Biting mother. I think that shot was in the trailer.
Yeah, it reminds me of the hell is that thing on Left? You ever play Left 4 Dead?
Oh, that's fucked up. He said you weren't replacing your sons anytime soon. He had to kick him in the nuts.
You should be seeing double right about now. That would be a 2 minutes.
Son of a bitch.
You little bastard.
And you know he's gonna fuck him up.
Oh, little fucker.
Hey, got some good shots in. Why are you gonna go for the little girl first? That's fucked up. Oh, you gotta save one of them.
Yeah.
Please, help us.
Shut the fuck up, podcast. Don't be shy. Throw down your gun.
He's got like 15 of them still on him.
No! James, that's no way to punish the Punisher. one of these two, or let the other one go free. What do you say, Frank? Who's it to be? Your fat friend right here? Or that nice little piece of jailbait over there? And they both die. Frank! Keep it in. Okay, fucking kill her first. No! Stop! Made a decision. Do good for you, fatso. Get this week, Cassie. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. But you know he's not gonna win in a one-on-one fight with him.
Yeah. I mean, in the comics, he's a pretty, formidable foe. He was a mob hitman, like an assassin.
Okay.
So he can hold his own.
Well, I thought it maybe like Batman and the Joker. Like Joker always pretends like he can't fight, but whenever they get in a fight, he's always seen like him match Batman hand for hand.
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh shit.
Let me put you out of my misery.
Okay, that's one of the better, pre-one-liner kills.
This is just the beginning.
The over
Yeah, the
CGI shit.
CGI. But at least that was the only time it was noticeable in the movie. So.
Yeah.
Where's Cassie? Where's my girl?
Frank! Frank, are you okay?
And everybody's dead except him.
You better get out of here. Yeah. Come on, Frank, I'll buy you a drink.
Wait. Wait. My husband, Nicky, we talked about you. Argued about you. He said you were only a good guy.
That family he can never have.
Mhm. Yeah, they didn't overdo it like they did in the
Right, when he
John.
was trying to fuck his wife like halfway through the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that one too, or the Netflix. Yeah.
Right.
The emo Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, buddy, maybe it's time to quit now, huh? I mean, you must get tired of this, right? I think you got all the criminals in town. If there are any left, you gotta at least consider rehabilitation. I mean, contrary to popular belief, people can change. Guess what I'm saying is, I'm just personally
He's already out shooting people. I think he went out, but I'm still recording. Okay. So yeah, pretty sure Eli just cut out. But yeah, that was Punisher Warzone and fucking Sane. I love that you got Ray Stevenson, you got Dominic West, you got all these other guys here, Looney Bin Jim, crazy guy. So yeah, I give the movie a 4 out of 5. A good watch, not a classic like that, but a good watch. Entertainingly, watch it again. Yeah, I know the movie got a bad rap when it first came out, but I think it was pretty cool when it first came out. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it out there and just gonna cut this off. So cool.